Hi, I'm Pomona, and I'm going to tell you how two wrongs make a right, how low light and high salt protect polar algae from heat stress. This adorable little fellow is Pomona Osmers. This alga, like others from polar environments, do the heavy lifting of the ecosystem. Their job is to turn light, carbon, and water into resources through the process of photosynthesis. Their hard work supports the ecosystem by providing both food as they are eaten and oxygen that others require to breathe. Lake Bonny, Antarctica, shown here on the right, would be a challenging enough place to do this. On top of the frigid cold temperatures, the permanent ice covering blocks most of the available light, and the waters underneath are saltier than the ocean. Living in these challenging conditions is bad enough before they were threatened by climate change. Climate change is currently warming the polar regions faster than the rest of the world. The polar regions are losing ice at an unprecedented rate. This loss has many impacts on the under ice community. The two major impacts of this melting ice are an increase in fresh water that reduces the salinity and increases the available light. Thinking of land plants where bright lights and abundant fresh water do wonders, wouldn't reduced salinity and increased light intensity be a good thing for polar algae? My project aims to understand how the changing salinity and light conditions might affect polar algae. Specifically, my research is looking into how green algae react differently during heat stress. To do this, I'm using the model cold adapted alga Pomona Osmers, grown at two levels of light and salinity, both low and high. These were taken to mimic the natural lake conditions and the predicted outcomes of climate change. This figure shows how Pomona Osmers reacts to heat stress over time as a percentage of dead cells. It clearly shows that low salt and high light, shown in purple, or what is expected in climate change, is detrimental to polar algae. All algae grown in low salt, including pink and purple, are more sensitive to heat stress than high salt in blue and green. These results show that salinity is the key factor on how resistant polar algae are to heat stress. Now that I know what happens, the big question is why. It is still a mystery, but I'm going to figure it out. The questions I am asking is, how does salt get the algae ready for stress? And what internal changes are going on? Pomona Osmers is showing me the answers to these questions. I hope to help understand, firstly, how life exists in extreme environments, and secondly, how can we protect polar algae during climate change? Thank you.